1 second. Can't take a look.
Hi everyone, this is Samantha K here, host of the Samantha K Experience, and tonight I have a special guest. Joining me is Jessica Daix of JDX Designs. Welcome, Jessica. How are you doing?
Hi everyone, I'm doing well today.
Lovely, lovely. So how is it in Seattle, in Washington?
Well, this weekend we have completely high temperatures. We're in the 90s. Tomorrow they said it'll get to 100 by Monday, so we're enjoying the
I hear that. Well, enjoy it for me, because I like to be inside sometimes. It's too hot for me over here in New York. Okay, so can you tell me what was the process of JDX? Like, how did you get started into the fashion industry?
It's been in my life basically since I was little. It's something that my mom did when I was younger, and it was just something I got into just because I saw how much she loved it. And in the beginning, it was just literally that I didn't want to wear what everyone else was wearing. I was like, you see people go, to Ross and they're all wearing the same dress at events, or, like similarities. And for me, I was like, those are cute, but I said, I never want to wear what somebody else is wearing. So I said, the best way to do that is to start my own company. And that's where it came from. And then, so I went to school and I graduated in 2011, started in 2009. And I went from there. And from then on, I was starting to do my business, trying to set it up and get it together.
Wow. So I wanted to ask you, do you find things a little bit more like hard for you, since it's a fashion industry, you have a lot of competition, a lot of people can be kind of sort of cutthroat at times. Like, how do you manage things like that?
Yeah, it does happen. It is definitely a career or like a position that people are out to judge you. There are people who are going to like what you make, the people that are going to hate what you make. But it's more about like knowing who your customers are and who you are as a designer, because if you don't know those things, then those people's opinions really do affect you, and it could bring you down because you're like, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not, catering to the right person. So I definitely think it comes down to you and how like you personally are with like your confidence, and then who exactly you're selling to. Like you need to know your customers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think that's very important. I also think that, once you're in this situation, sometimes people think that, fashion is, it's just whatever, but it takes a lot of work and hard, dedication, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And I think a lot of people don't understand that,
That's definitely true.
Yeah. So can you like give me like a synopsis or an idea of your collections, like your style of your collections, especially the Galaxy collection?
Okay, so me personally, I'm originally born from California, so my style is definitely, I don't know, I've gotten a lot of bohemian chic and kind of like, free flowing, a relaxed kind of chill vibe. And what inspired the tie-dye collection was, I guess, just being trapped at home during pandemic and just wanting to do something fun and colorful. And that's where I got the Galaxy collection from. And I started playing with dyes and colors. And I said, you know what? I was staying up at night looking at the skies, and I said, this is what I'm gonna, create. So it was fun to try different techniques and different ways to create that look, or to create the Galaxy collection.
I thought it was like really cool. I was like, wow, you know what? This reminds me when I was working with the kids and stuff. We used to do tie-dye, and then trying to figure out like, hey, can we make tie-dye with using black shirt and stuff? But I was like, wait, I don't know. I still have to figure that out. But I was like, I thought it was pretty cool and then I noticed on your website you said it's inspired by space, and it has like a little 90s grunge flair. And I was like, yeah, I definitely picked up on that too. I was like, yeah, I could still like hear certain songs playing because I grew up in the 90s, so it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, I definitely see like a kind of like a Nirvana type feel and all of that stuff, So,
yeah, definitely what I was going for. And the thing about it is each one was individually hand like turned into that tie-dye, so it's not like all of them have the same pattern. which is also what my business is about, you know, designing for an individualist, just like it goes with the fact that I didn't want to be like everyone else and I didn't want anyone else to feel that way. So whoever purchases my items is going to be one of the only people having it on, you know, it's not going to be the same as the next person that bought it.
Wow, I hear you. I have a question. So now that you are a fashion designer and owner of your own company, can you give anyone a word of advice who might be now trying to start into the business, like any words of wisdom for them?
I would definitely say use what you have. This is an industry that takes a lot of money. It is something that, you know, you need, but even for me, it's not what I started with. I said, you know, little by little, I'm going to build up what I have. And so I would encourage anyone who's doing it, don't give up on yourself. Like if you have a good idea, go for it. And just like I said, remember who you're trying to sell to and have a game plan and you'll be good to go. So have confidence in what you do. Just like my tagline, confidence is key. Believe in what you're selling. Don't give up on that, and don't let other people bring you down. Because, you know, just like you said, there are people that may not like your specific style or may not even be used to the fashion industry. But the fact that you have confidence in it is what's going to help you keep going.
One of my other questions I have, and I like to ask this of like everyone else.
Yeah.
Do you have a piece in your collection that stands out to you, like that has like a personal story, one that you can share? You know.
I don't know. I don't have the piece anymore, but it was a striped dress that I made. I guess the story is just like that I do really well on draped pieces. So pieces that I make like really quickly. My quick ideals are what, like, you know, where my collections come from too. But that piece was special to me, one, because I made it in like 2 hours and I never had to do that before. And it was just comfy and like something that you could wear on a sexy night out with your husband, or, you know, something you could wear with your girls. And that's what like making looks like that is what I want. I want something that you can transition into. And so it was a striped dress with a cowl front, and I'd say like a low back, but I love that dress and it looked good on every model that I put it in. So it was something that was special to me.
So, what kind of models do you typically look for to wear your pieces?
I look for models that are confident, but then also I want the clothing to make them feel confident. And I'm going to say that because in my past show that I just had for African Fashion Week here in Seattle, one of the models, she came for a fitting. She tried on all my clothes, and she just didn't look like she was completely comfortable with what she was wearing.
Okay.
And my thing is I want my models to feel that way. So she openly told me, she said, you know, there's some pieces that you have here that I don't feel completely, you know, comfortable with. And going with my business and my motto, my tagline, I said, you know, I want you to feel confident. You tell me what you feel comfortable in. And I made her a dress that night for the show the next day, because I said, I want her to feel like she is, like she likes what she's wearing, like it's something that she would wear and not be ashamed. And the next day I put it on her and it fit like a glove, and she was just so happy to wear it. So I pick my models just by their confidence, but I like the way they walk. I like the way they carry themselves. I want a proud woman to wear my clothes, or a proud man, or anyone to like be, you know who they are and feel good in what they wear.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the, you know, the old sayings like the clothes make the man or maketh the man or whatever. I think I agree with that. I agree with that. Plus the personality, but I also do agree, like, you know, the clothes, especially a nice looking dress, you do a lot with a nice looking dress with the right person, the right look wearing it. Like, yeah. So you spoke about earlier about your mom and the background. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background? Like,
yes. So I was born in California, but my mom is originally from Haiti, the island, and then my dad is originally from Ivory Coast. So a lot of my pieces, or a lot of my collections, I've done 2 African collections because my dad has come straight from Ivory Coast and brought me fabric. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a collection. So all of my fabric that are from those collections are directly from Africa. And I combine them with some, side materials that I have here in Washington. But I like to do a mix of my culture. I may have been born in America, but the way I grew up was all international. And I think you can see that in my clothing, in my style, and in what I create.
I definitely see that too, because I come from my parents are from Barbados, so I feel like I identify more with that culture as opposed to being born and raised in Brooklyn. So I could definitely see like the culture coming out there in your designs, and I thought it was pretty cool because I looked at your designs for the Afro week, Afro Fashion Week.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I definitely saw like some. I didn't even know that the garments you got were from your dad. Like, that's really awesome. Like, he really brought those over. That's awesome. Like that. Well, it's fun talking to you. You're very sweet. You're very nice. You're welcome. And I know you got a whole bunch of stuff going on, so I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me today, this evening on the show.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's it feels good to talk to people about what I do and to get feedback so I can keep going.
The only thing I could tell you is just keep doing what you're doing, and I pray and hope the best for you, and and just continue doing your awesome work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I want to stick around for a little bit afterwards, because I want to talk to you about something. Nothing too crazy, but before you go, before we both go, can you just tell us where you could find your work, you find your designs?
Yes. So I have my website, shop jdxdesigns.com, and then I got my Instagram page, JDX.designs, and my Facebook page, which is JDX Designs, and you can find me at all those platforms.
Okay, thanks, Jessica. Well, guys, that was the show, and thanks again for Jessica for joining us tonight, and I see you on the next episode of the Samantha K Experience. Bye.